Hey guys, I'm Brandon Farmahini and this is the news. Today, Microsoft has revealed that they're compensating gamers who've had issues with their Xbox One disk drive with a free digital first-party game so they can still play while they wait for the replacement console to arrive. In a statement, Microsoft has said, quote, "While a replacement console is on its way, we want to ensure our Advanced Exchange customers that they can stay in the game. We will provide each one of them with a free digital download of one of the launch titles published by Microsoft Studios," end quote. The available games are Forza 5, Dead Rising 3, Rise, Son of Rome, and Zoo Tycoon. Gotta manage those exotic animals, am I right? I like the exotic ones because they're pretty. They've also explained why there's no Halo game available at launch. Microsoft Game Studios head Phil Spencer explains that it was more important that 343 ship Halo 4, its first major Halo game since taking over development for Bungie. He says, quote, "I was committed to getting Halo 4 done last year, and there was no way we were going to turn around with 343 a Halo game in a year." I don't know if that's how he talks. I like to think it is. The studio would have had to begin work on a Halo game for Xbox One in 2010 to make the launch, and their strategy with 343 is to maintain a high level of control over development to ensure that it meets quality expected of a Halo game. This is the level that they're going for. So they didn't want to bloat the studio and risk a subpar launch game. Makes sense. Next up, it looks like Nintendo legend Shigeru Miyamoto may have some help working on his new Nintendo IP project since he stepped away from the Mario franchise after the newly released Super Mario 3D World. As a creator of Pikmin, he would have worked heavily with Pikmin and Pikmin 2 director Masamichi Abe, who moved to Seattle following those games to work on Metroid Prime, Hunters, and a series of Mario vs. Donkey Kong titles for the DS. Prior to his time at Nintendo, he worked on both Tekken and Tekken 2, and now Tekken series director Katsuhiro Harada has revealed that he's back in Japan, saying he is in Nintendo Kyoto now, working on some Nintendo original title. It could be there are a lot of new IPs in development in the house of Nintendo, or, wait for it, it could be that there are two Nintendo veterans teaming up again on this new secret Nintendo project. I'm excited to hear what it is. And on to PSN news, which there's a lot of today. Sony has reset the passwords on some of the PSN accounts after they were alerted to some irregular activity on the network. That's a nice way of saying things got fucked up. This follows a similar password reset on a group of European accounts last week. So if you try to log into PSN and can't, you may need to reset your password. To do so, you'll need to access the email address you registered with on PSN and remember which birth date you gave them when you lied about your age. I do that to meet older women. Battlefield 4 has a PS4 update available when you log in, which should fix a number of issues introduced by the 1.5 Day 1 PS4 system update. According to the patch notes, it fixes common crashes that would occur when changing maps or weapons, reduces the probability of a corrupted save file, fixes a crash that occurs when resuming the campaign, and removes an error that would occur when accessing your PS Plus subscription. DICE GM Carl Magnus Trodson assures PS4 gamers that they are doing everything they can to improve launch issues, saying, and this is a quote, "While some platforms have had only minor problems, others have had more than their fair share of issues. Resolving the launch issues is our #1 priority," end quote. To apologize, they're also offering double XP from November 28th to December 5th, and as an early Christmas present, everyone who logs in on December 5th will get a M1911 pistol scope, which was previously reserved for just the development team. Suck on that, development team! But while European gamers may take some comfort in knowing how many launch issues they won't have to deal with, there is one problem, and that is that some of the third-party publishers will be charging more for the digital versions of the game on PS4 than they did for the physical versions or Xbox One versions. When the PlayStation Store launched for Europe a few days ago, ahead of the November 29th PS4 release, gamers discovered that EA games would cost them an extra £8 and Ubisoft games would cost an extra £3. EA has since revised their price downward by £3, but that still leaves the digital PSN version of their PS4 games £5 more expensive. I did that math by myself because I'm smart. And this is trickling down to DLC as well. A Battlefield Premium subscription costs £3 more on PSN than it does on Xbox Live. The PS4 will launch in Europe this Friday, so there's still plenty of time for publishers to adjust their prices. We'll keep you posted. I will personally call you if anything changes. Well, that's the news. What do you think about Nintendo's new IP? What could it be? Theorize away in the comments below. Then check out roosterteeth.com tomorrow, where we'll stream a new episode of our gaming podcast, The Patch. First for our sponsors, because you're awesome. Enjoy!